Hi, I'm Riki Schumacher. Welcome. I'm really glad you're taking a few minutes to look at my video about Artful Gathering 2012. This is the second Artful Gathering retreat that's all online. And the first one was last summer, and the second one being this coming summer. And it's 2 6-week sessions. Do you know how cool an online art retreat is? I do, because I've been to many art retreats. So you get to not have to buy airfare or a hotel room and meals. You can do this in the comfort of your own home. And that's pretty cool. You can wear your jammies. But what is also very different about this session is that for each 6-week session, for each 6-week course, I will be available online. Each artist will be online to answer any questions that you have about any of the techniques or materials. And I promise you that I will do my best to make sure you are a happy camper and that you got everything you wanted out of my workshops. So my first workshop is about making a frame from scratch, and I have a couple of examples here. What we're going to do is start with metal, sheet metal, and we're actually going to cut and file and drill and hammer, and we're going to be attaching rhinestone chain if you choose to, totally optional. This is an opportunity for you to dig in your drawers and get found objects that you've been wanting to use for years and years, but you don't know what to do with them. But we're going to have some cold connection techniques. We're going to use mini hardware and wire and solder different items on. It's really, really fun. It's just an excuse for me to do a class because I made one of these a couple years ago for a gift. So I'm so excited to show you how to do it. And then my second session, my second 6-week session, it will be the art of overcoming the fear of fire. And I'm really excited about this too because I've been intimidated about using torches for a long time. And this is designed to help you, the beginner, overcome your fears about using butane torches, mixed gas torches. I'm going to show you how to light them, fill canisters, the safety techniques, how not to light your hair on fire like I've done, and just a lot of tips about it. So by the end of that 6-week session, you're going to feel very comfortable with using fire in your work. It opens up all kinds of avenues. You can actually solder metal to metal, wire to metal, ball up ends for earrings. There's so many things you can do once you open up that door. So even if you've had a butane torch sitting around or are too afraid to light it, or maybe your mixed gases too afraid to light them up, I'm going to really help you out and show you to be comfortable with those. And I think you'll get a lot out of that. So I look forward to seeing you at both classes. And if I haven't met you before, online in my Etsy store for my online classes I have there, they're just little videos. Then welcome, glad to meet you, and I look forward to meeting you online at Artful Gathering. So this is my workshop. Let me give you just one quickie little tour. Everything's kind of compartmentalized because we travel back and forth from Washington to California. I'm a Washington State resident, but we live in California in the winter, in the Central Coast. So I have everything kind of in containers that gets thrown in a pickup and gets hauled to Washington back and forth twice a year. So there's a lot of things in plastic, and it's for that reason. This is my little work area where I do my metalworking. This is as clean as you'll ever see it, so hope you enjoy it. This is where I do my metalworking and PMC over here, as well as a lot of cold connections. I'm a PMC certified instructor, so I work in PMC quite a bit. This is a beading station where there's some things in progress right here. I have to make a lot of inventory for 3 summer shows I do each summer up in Washington State. So I'm working on jewelry year-round. And then another beading station. And then across the room, you'll again see everything kind of compartmentalized so that it can be thrown in the truck and move back and forth. And then a small library. So that gives you an idea of what my little space is like. I wanted to point out one thing. Over here, I have a little sign, bonjour, welcome in French. I got to go to France 3 years ago with Susan Lenart-Casmer. It changed my life in many ways. Not only is she amazing, but the trip changed my direction of jewelry. So it was a perfect opportunity to get into found objects and mixed metals, which I absolutely love. And that's kind of how a mixed media frame came out of the whole mix, is from found objects. So thanks for looking, and we're going to shut it down, and I'm going to take you down to the garage where we're actually going to film the workshops, and I'm going to show you some materials that we're going to use for the frame. So I wanted to give you an idea of what kinds of materials and supplies we'll be working with to make the frame. And you're going to have an array of all kinds of tools. There's all kinds of hand tools that are involved, as well as some soldering tools. But I'm just going to kind of do a real brief overview. This is a portable bench pen. I love it because I can set it up on any table. We'll be working with copper sheet and a jeweler's saw. You'll need a bench pen of some sort and some glues and some wire snips, some heavy-duty gauge copper. Optional on the rhinestones, that's totally up to you. This is some mini hardware as well as some escutcheon pins that we'll be using as cold connections. And then of course you'll need a photo. And this is one I just scanned and printed, but you can use any original photo. It will not get harmed in the making of your frame. And then you'll need to cut the metal along with the wires, or the jeweler's saw. We'll do a little bit of cutting with metal snips as well. And then some hammers, one for riveting, one for pounding the metal flat after you've cut it. Rulers, little magic markers. This is the Dremel I pulled out just as an example, but feel free to use a Dremel, a flex shaft, or a drill. Either one is fine. And then in the soldering area, you're going to need some sort of plier and a flux brush, a butane torch, of course, and then I always use water-soluble, lead-free flux and solder. So that kind of gives you an overview of the kinds of things we'll be using. It's not a complete list, but it's the major things, and it gives you kind of a heads up on what will be involved in making the frame. And then on the overcoming the fear of fire, I will show you all of the equipment that I use. You don't have to have a thing for that. It's just more of an informative video. But thank you. I sure look forward to meeting you and hope you join us for Artful Gathering 2012 coming in June. See you then.